everyone, it is Diane here from Decoeasy. Jen and I are super happy that you came over to watch another home decor video. Let's start crafting and see what we're going to make today.
I wanted to craft with you something for the autumn season, and therefore we're going to work with I have this color of paint. I really don't know if I'm going to like it or not. If not, then you can also pick another color. I need this amplifier cutting tool because I need to cut iron wire. I also have various sizes of paint brushes for this paint. This paint is just normally chalk paint from Action. And I have something more from Action. This bag of wooden beads. Well, it's not in this big bag. They come in little small, how do you call that? Yeah, cylinder packages with, I think, parts of 20 or something in one package. So I have assembled quite often, quite a lot for these. And I put them in my own bag. I think these are 30 millimeters. I don't know how much inch that is. But I want to make a pumpkin out of these beads with this wire. First I want to check how I can make the shape, and therefore I have this iron wire here. I've never done this before, so this will be my first time as well. And yeah, I hope everything goes okay. We'll see how it turns out. Let's start crafting. The reason why I took out this specific tool instead of another part of amplifiers is because this has a really, well, long tip, which I hope I can use to, model the iron wire if necessary, because it comes in this, well, wooden cloche thing, and if you rip it off, then you can see there are a whole lot of wobbles inside there, which we don't want to have. So yeah, first let me model this thing into a pumpkin, and I think that is much harder than it looked upon Pinterest, because I found this DIY on Pinterest. You can make this thing as large or as small as you want. Maybe it's the best thing to start on the bottom, or just measure how long I want my strings to be, and then just simply cut out several parts. Maybe that isn't a bad idea to do. Well, let's say 30 centimeters, and then use the tool to cut it off. Well, this is not the best cutting tool, or maybe I'll just stuck this thing. Oh, this is better. I just stuck it too deep inside of the amplifier. Well, let me cut off several in the same size out of this one, and then we'll see how we can form this thing into a pumpkin. Okay, I think I already know what the trick is. Don't use a single iron wire for just one bow, one arch of the pumpkin, but use it to create two arches at once by just putting them together on the top. And then I hope you can see, because it is really thin. Just form this thing into a pumpkin shape. This here will be the top section. We're going to use twine for that. I forgot to mention that, but you can also use yarn or whatever you want to use. And I think I'm going to do this with the other ones as well. And then this one will go underneath here. And then, yeah, the real art of doing this is just pinch them together on the top section. And that is much, much harder than it looked. Oh, and I'm sweaty all over the place because there's a heat wave going on here. I am crafting in, yeah, well, almost 30 degrees here upon the attic with the door and everything open. So yeah, it slips out of my fingers. I'm really sorry for that, but we'll manage to do it, I think. Just going to continue adding more. Add one more, and then we'll see how it looks. Remember, just like I said, you're going to put everything together at the top. And it doesn't have to be super neat at once. Yeah, and this one is much smaller than I thought it would be. Okay. Add this thing here, and then I'm going to take a look and see what it looks like. Now it looks like an onion. I hope you can see it. Here, maybe it's better looking at it this way. One point at the bottom, and then you have to divide all the wires here and there, and yeah, well, much work to go on, but I think this is the base, and I really don't know how many beads I need to use for one, but yeah, I'm just going to start working on that. I'm going to add the beads here one by one. Let me just take out one on the iron wire here. And then work my way around until I'm happy with the amount of beads. Of course, you have to count them, because then you know how much beads you need to add on one wire. But as you can see, there are going to be a lot more necessary here for this DIY. So just keep on going. Okay, I think 20 beads is enough for, ooh, it almost fell off. Maybe it's too much. For one line. And actually, I never worked with beads, like motorcycle outside. I never worked with beads before, but I think forming the bead, you know, modeling it is much, much easier when you put beads upon the iron wire. Now, you can just tie up these on the top section. And then just, gosh, why is it so hot here? Then just, you know, twist the ends around each other. That's what I wanted to show you, but it's not going to happen right now because I am totally freaking out this hot weather. I'll be back when everything is in the right line, and I'm going to also fill up the other wires with the beads. I forgot to mention, don't twist them up totally. I'm just going to twist once because we need to twist all these wires to each other. So I think one is enough, then the beads don't fall off, and you have time and space to model everything. And that looks pretty weird. I think this is a nice pumpkin shape. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, let's move over to the next one. 20 beads on one single wire. Number 2, the trick of not sliding everything up is just hold the beads instead of the wire while twisting the wires around each other. This will do. Well, you learn while doing. That's what we say in the Netherlands here. I think it's a nice saying. It's totally right for the DIY as well. Okay, I have 5 circles filled up with beads. I switched back to 18 beads per, per piece, because I think that I also need to, pull them together here on the bottom part, and therefore 20 is simply just too much for this length. Now, let me find where the center is. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, then this here. Yeah, this here is the center. I'm going to leave a space open there because then I know where to tuck in the other part. I might need to, take them loose and then wrap them around here once. So yeah, everything is tied up well together. But I'm first going to test it before I'm going to show you how I did it. It looks weird, but I'm really building a pumpkin here. I just took the 2 strings apart and, really turned the iron wire around the bead so it won't fall off. And then I took the middle of one of those iron wire layers and I twisted the other one, around here. I'm going to do the same ones with this here. Just fold around really tight. Lay it flat. Search for the center, which is here. Now, I see that I need to add a little bit more space. I'm going to loosen this one up. And if necessary, you can always slide off. And then just circle around. And this is where the struggle comes. But sooner or later, it will fall in between. And you can loosen your grip if necessary. And if really necessary, just take off a few beads. You can add them later. But that gives you, a little bit more space to fold around as tight as you can. Now you can simply put them back in again. And tightly fold this bead around. Okay, well, another layer. Just repeating the same steps. Fold around it really tight. Search for the center, which is here. And well, yeah, if necessary, you can also pick it up, of course. That won't be a big deal. And fold around. Oh, there it goes. Fold around as tight as you can. If necessary, just take off some beads. Not a big deal. And then add them on later. Where's the thing? Yeah, here it is. Before, closing the wire again by folding it like this. And then at the end you can press it down, but first important thing is that you can fold around. You can knead it up later on. Okay, now comes the art of putting everything together. I still had to take here and there some beads off, but I'm happy with how it looks like, and I folded everything up. Now I'm going to pull everything tightly together. Just first, well, I think just put these 3 together. Will this succeed or not? Nope. Then I'm just going to start up randomly tucking things together, I think, because in the end it will all needs to, you know, collide at the same part. Only going to do this once. I'm trying to stay down as best as I can, but it is really hard here in this weather. Well, I think I'm going to ask someone to help me hold this thing up. While twisting these things around, you definitely need 2 persons for this size. Maybe I'm going to make a bigger one after this one. And at the end, you will have, you know, a stick standing up, which we're going to cover up in twine. There it is. Well, it might not be the most beautiful pumpkin you've ever seen, but on the other hand, I'm proud that I did it. And yeah, let this count as an inspiration and learning process for you all. Make the iron wires bigger. And yeah, maybe work with less beads or with less strings. Well, I think it is a cutie one here. It needs a finishing touch with twine and maybe a little bit of grit. The small one is done. Now I want to make his big brother with the larger beads that I have here. These were the biggest one I had in store. Now you see in what packages the other one came to. This is 13mm, this is 15mm. As you can see, they are slightly larger. I'm going to repeat the same steps, but then I'm going to make it bigger, so longer parts of iron wire. Let's go. I'm going to skip all the steps, just show the bigger one just as it is like this one, because you've already seen how I made these ones. And yeah, I'm going to do practically the same, but then with bigger iron wires. The big one is done as well. With the bigger beads, we have a bigger pumpkin with longer iron wires. Now, actually, first I thought, let's paint them, but now I see them, I think I just like them more the way they are. Just pure natural wood. No beeswax, no stain, no, actually nothing. I think this looks really, really cool. I think I'm going to leave this way. Yeah. Okay, time to finish it off. For the finishing touch, I really hope that you can see it well. I have the glue gun here and I have twine here. And I hope that you can still see what I'm doing because the light is going pretty bad now. I'm just thinking, yeah, I think I do it with the small one. I'm going to add a dot of glue and then just start wrapping around here. I might make it a little bit longer than this because I also want to attach a tiny little leaf on top. So just glue this to the iron wire and then start winding it up until you have a really nice, yeah, wooden stick. It's my tiny small little tip. Now I'm on top. I just made it tiny little bit longer. I'm going back downwards because then you get a bigger stick, and also you don't get a, oops. Oh no, that was not what I wanted to show you. Okay, I think I need to just push it back on. Then you get a longer stick, another really weird looking tip upon the top section. Now let me see if winding up still works. If not, then I might have to redo the whole thing. But yeah, it just stays in place. Now carefully go back your way back down. And then I'm just going to glue it upon the bottom part of where the twine begins. And here you see the result of number 2. Well, they're pretty identical. This one is bigger, has bigger beads. Ooh. And the other one is just typically smaller, but I think they are both cute. Time to finish it off. You can use green leaves, but I want to stay, I think, inside of the autumn feeling. So I have just some autumn leaves, which I can glue, or yeah, maybe just tuck them in. Don't know how it's going to work out alongside here, but you can pick, of course, any greenery that you like. Okay, I just think that I have to cut these off and then just glue the back part here upon the pumpkin. Just use some hot glue. I like to place it in here. Well, maybe this one is a little bit too big. Let me see if this one looks better. Ooh, there was a big drip of glue coming down. Yeah, I think this looks cute together with, do I have a smaller one? Are these two identical? I think they are. Just something like this will look cute. yeah, I'm going to pick this one here and these two for the smaller one here. So I'm just going to take them off. Glue, where are you? Glue the back side here. And now there is an air bubble. Just like this. Oh, don't mess up with my DIY. Carefully hold until the glue has been cooled down enough. And then I'm going to add the second one. Just in the same way. And then maybe a little bit more up here. And then you have your pumpkin ready. I recommend not picking up this part because it then easily can fall apart. But carefully, you know, lift it here underneath the stick. Well, I'm going to style the smallest one in the same way. And this is the final reveal. I hope you can still see it. Let me turn around the camera a little bit. It's really hard to get it here from a nice angle. But I think they look super cute together, especially here, this tiny one. Well, there are quite a lot of leaves, more than I expected it to be. But it's actually minimalistic farmhouse design. It was much tougher than I thought it would be to make it, but unfortunately, yeah, or actually, I mean, turned out pretty cool. Well, that was it, Jen, and I hope that you enjoyed this, and we hope to see you back in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye!